Hello, hello, hello. How are you all? Well, it is Qualitha, Qualana, and Moya. We're Build a Sister Up. We are happy that you all have joined us. And guess what? It is Thursday. We've made it over to Hump Day. We passed Hump Day. So today is Thursday. We're happy that you all have joined us, and we're going to get in our 10-minute talk. You know, we come on every Tuesdays and Thursdays. So let's jump right into our 10-minute talk.
The 10-minute topic of tonight is how many rental payment and mortgage payments should you put aside? And I guess I'll let one of you ladies go first.
10, 20.
That's a good number. I'm gonna piggyback off of what Qualana said and say 15 to 30.
Mortgage payments, or let's say rent payments. So if your rent, because the question came about because on the news today, they were talking about you should have just for anything that happens, you know, in life, things happen. They said you should have at least 6 months of rental payments or mortgage payments saved in case anything happens. Like if you lose your job, someone gets sick, you know, anything can happen, or, you know, your house catch on fire, or, you know, anything can happen, you know, things happen. You should have 6 months worth of payments set aside. Or let's say you go on vacation, or, you know, you run out of sick time. Anything can happen. That's the same thing as being sick. But anything like that can happen, or a family member gets sick. So if you have 6 months or mortgage payments set aside, then if something happens, they were saying on the news, which I do agree to, that's covered, because you do need a roof over your head. So you know the roof over your head is covered. Now, of course, granted, you know, they didn't say anything about your car note and stuff like that, because, you know, that's secondary. But first, you do need a house to go in. So they were saying on the news, 6 months worth of mortgage and rental payments set aside. Now, when I was living by myself, true enough, I had an efficiency, and it was, I think it was $395. It was $395. Had a little kitchenette, little stove, living room, bedroom, bam, that's it. Bathroom. So I paid 3 months in advance. And it actually felt good, because if you have that money set aside, like I paid 3 months in advance, I was able to do a little more. You know, true enough that $300, $400 wasn't a lot. But if you can imagine, you know, if you can save $600 or $300 or whatever your mortgage payment is, if you can't do 6 months, do 3 months, do 2 months, you know, just have that. But if you can have that money aside, because they say it might be, you know, we never know down the line, you'll have that money there.
You made some very good points. I think the more you save, you know, each check, if you can just set it aside, then you'll be up to 6 months of mortgage payments before you know it.
That's true.
But
even if, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying you definitely do want to leave that cushion open to have extra mortgage payments available in case there is a unknown event.
Right.
Yeah, totally agree.
$10, you know, $10 is small, but you know, people are like, shoot, $10 is nothing. But just think, if your rent is $460 and you put $10 aside for your rent balance and $10 next month, then you know when your payment comes, you only have $20. Well, $20 deducted from your $600. So $580. So you only have $580 that you have to pay. One way to
Um,
look at it,
Yeah, that is true.
you know.
Chris said I have to have 6 months to a year, so he was with it as well. And CG said, "Hey, hey." So yes, Chris was with it as well. He's saying 6 months to a year. So definitely he's on the right track of saving up that mortgage.
That's good. 6 months to a year. And that allows you to, if you have 6 months to a year, what if you're like an entrepreneur, you know? Or if you're not an entrepreneur, you have that money set aside so you don't have to worry about your rental payment if something happens in the event that anything happens. Because food is going, light bill, gas bill, everything is going up. But that rental money, you might even have to dip in it for something else. But it's always good to have that mortgage money set aside or rent money set aside. And on top of that, if you can set aside money for a light bill, gas bill.
It just sounds like several streams of income is needed because you can use that stream of income to save for your mortgage and then use another stream of income to save for money, especially nowadays where the economy is just not that good. Basically, Chris said not only mortgage or rent, you may also have to tap into the money in case something goes wrong with the house. You need something to fall back on. Yes, Chris, you definitely made a good point. You definitely need something to fall back on. Just try to have that money set aside for those emergencies.
Mm-hmm. That's
That's
true.
right.
Medication, you might have to, if somebody really gets sick, might have to have medication, or you might have to tap into it if your car goes down. So that's a good point too.
Emergency stash. We definitely need that funding for emergencies, situations.
That way you don't have to go into your savings account because you got that account. Well,
Or if you use your savings account for emergency funds.
well, that's the option too.
Mhm. Just don't want to go into it as if it's your everyday bread and butter. You definitely want to make sure you try to save that for those emergency situations.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one was definitely a fun topic. Let us know what you do. How many months of rent you set aside for your mortgage or for just any life unknown circumstances. How much money do you save aside for that? Let us know how you save that money or what percentage, and does it always work out for you? But we definitely appreciate everyone who's tuned in and who's watched. We always like to talk amongst ourselves, but we like it so much better when you come in and you join us. As always, remember to build bold, build better, build brilliant, build a brother up, build a sister up.
Bye.